1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the intro's over. Time to grab your drink and sit down. Come on, we're starting.
I got nothing. I got nothing to say. We should end the show right now. It says, welcome to the World Show, and thank you and good night. And stop right there. There is so much weirdness going on in the world. You don't even know where to begin. Can we just make this a 6-hour show, please? Because there's no way I can pick and choose in 1 hour the things that need to be talked about. Even if we don't solve the mysteries, man. Just to get them off your chest, just to say them out loud, just to get rid of the spin, right? Just to get rid of the nausea that comes along with all the news cycle. Can we just cut some things down to their basic core and talk about it from a common sense point of view, from a Generation X point of view? Somewhere we're just like, no focus groups, no charts, no graphs, no. Just, I don't know. I'm struggling. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm struggling here. Just some stuff and some stupid people out there in the world, too. Before we do anything, okay, you guys all know Shoeless Joe. I don't know if he's in here right now. Shoeless Joe, I don't know if he's in the world shows. He's in here in the bottom of the Glass Nation shows. When we get drunk, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, we get drunk, we get naked, we run around until we fall over. He's here for those shows, as you should be. And I don't know. We were mentioning that I wanted to make a whiskey barrel, full whiskey barrel with an old time little pump on it for my wife for the garden. But that runs off of a hose, the little piping, little foot pedal. But I couldn't find a whiskey barrel. I was looking all around Craigslist and eBay and driving through neighborhoods and yard sales and side of the road where they'd pull them, all that kind of stuff. Where we live, that still happens. Couldn't find one for weeks. And Shoeless Joe ordered. And it showed up the other day. This bitchin', one of the best looking full-size whiskey barrels I've ever seen. That has more straps. It's different than the ones I'm used to just buying. I love this thing. And he paid for it and shipped it here. It's sitting on my front porch. I'm telling you, I'm not embarrassed to say that Shoeless Joe gave this guy a half chub. I'm telling you, this thing is just, it made my day. It really did. You got to thank Shoeless Joe for that one. There's nothing better than when someone gives you a gift like that, just like there's someone who chooses to remain nameless. But every time it's 110 outside, and every time I walk in the studio, it's 65 degrees because of one of you. I'm not allowed to say because that person said don't make a big deal about it, but I want to every single time that I come into the studio and it's blistering outside and our studio is nice and cold inside. I can't tell you how refreshing that is. See what I did there? Little play on words, heat, cold, refreshing. Refreshing in every way you could say that. So there's lots of blessings, lots of benefits that get passed around to us, and very thankful and grateful for all of them. And some are big things, like the air conditioning in the studio and things that were done to be part of the studio. But then the little things, like the whiskey barrel and the things that show up. I'm telling you guys are amazing fans. You guys are amazing viewers. I couldn't be more privileged than to be sitting behind this microphone talking with you fine folks. And not just because some of the gifts you give come our way. It's the camaraderie that we all feel. It's the common sense. It's the common ground that we've got going on. And the cherry on top is when you guys have ability to get something that I can't and you send it, and it just makes my day. It really does. I know you guys always tell me, I get letters all the time that I give a lot to you guys. No, nothing like what you guys give to me. This, as far as I'm concerned, I am cheating the system with you guys. Because the benefit that I get, the knowledge that I get from you guys, the feelings that I get and the camaraderie that I get from you guys, I could never repay it. I could never do it. I can try. I can be here. I can talk, but am I ever going to be able to give back what you guys give to me in this program. So that's just a small thank you. I wish I could say thank you for every little thing that has ever been done by anybody, but we'd be here for way too long. But that one just hit me, and it was one of those things where it's imposing when it shows up on your front porch. What the fuck is a whiskey barrel? That's imposing. It's a big thing. So, Shoeless Joe, if you guys run into him, give him a little pat on the back and say thank you, because he was drunk. He obviously sobered up, and his wife went, "What is this you tried to whiskey?" And he went, "Whoa, I was drinking. I don't know, but it's on its way." So he can't take it back now, Joe. Thank you for doing that. It's a little tiny shout out amongst many things that we are grateful for around here. Okay, so I'm getting emails again, not just on YouTube, but on Facebook too, that Facebook and YouTube is not telling you guys that our show is going to start. And I forgot today to send out the email. I was so far behind on stuff, but usually, and I very rarely do I miss. But if you join Patreon, it's $1. I send you guys an email, just something small, and says, "Hey, we're going to be on YouTube in half an hour. Hey, we're going to be on Facebook or TikTok or whatever. We're doing in half an hour." I just let you guys know because there's so many times you don't get the notifications. They're complicated on how you have to sign up for those, which we've learned. It's not just hit the bell, the subscribe thing. You got to do it on every device you own. Yeah, Google has said that. YouTube has said if you have a cell phone, you got to hit like, subscribe, and the bell. Go to your tablet, like, subscribe, and the bell. If you got it on your TV through an Apple box, you'd like and subscribe, and you have to do it everywhere. Computer, same thing. Then YouTube says they will notify you, and I thought that's fucking dumb. If someone signs up one place, you guys should be telling them. But YouTube, no, they got to say you have synchronize all of the. So Patreon is the simplest way to let you guys know. Even if you're a YouTube member of the Gen X Talks community, we don't have a way to contact you directly. We don't have a way to send something individually to you. So you got to take that into consideration. So a lot of people spend the buck just to make sure they get the email. Now, there's tons of other stuff on Patreon, but you can get a lot of that on the General's Lunchbox in Facebook, and you can get it in here in YouTube members too. So but it's just the only place we can contact you. Speaking of that, if you are a YouTube member, did you guys see the video of my wife on our security camera getting her hair stuck? She was in her office. I couldn't help it. Once I wasn't there. I didn't catch it till later, but once I saw the video and I had to chop it up and add some pictures and a little narration. It's only a minute long or a minute and a half long. I chopped it down. She got stuck for about 5 minutes. She moved a dresser or a desk, something away from the wall, and she leaned over it to try to get down to a cord that was behind it. And there's a shelf with some hooks on the wall for storage, for her to do the little thing of metal. And she got her hair caught on it. She couldn't get her hair undone, so she was stuck bent over this dresser for 5 minutes. And the reason she didn't call me, I think you guys know why, because rescuing her would not have been my first priority. So as it was, she worked her way out of it. It was a funny video. And where did you get to see that? If you're a YouTube member, if you're part of the YouTube membership program, it's $1. The cheapest way out's $1. There's more expensive ones if you want to help the program, but the cheapest way out's $1. But it's something that we give back to you guys. We don't let the public see it. It's behind the scenes stuff. All the things that we do behind the scenes that have to do with the Gen X Talks family and you guys, when we go out and do special things, we don't always share them with everybody. We keep things in context. The people that donate, that run with us in that program, we try to give you guys every few days, there's something special up there for the membership, so you can kind of see what's going on. So that was a lot of fun. I'm telling you, when you actually look at it and go, "Oh my God, she was stuck," it's really fucking funny. It was. I shouldn't be laughing. That was one of the few times that she hit me. She goes, "You did what?" And she was. She's a good sport about it, and she did it. It was funny though. All right, so I want to talk about something else that came up too, and it was the podcast. I don't whore myself out enough on this podcast like I'm supposed to. The podcast is basically just my wife and I. The kid chimes in a little bit, but the last 20 episodes of the audio podcast have been so much fun to do, and we have actually tripled our viewership in the last, 15 or 20 episodes. It's been just amazing. This one, I thought it was funny because people were writing me notes laughing on what it was called. This one's called, Season 2, Episode 41 is called Chuck Norris, Tracking Trash and Sleeping with a Porn Star. We didn't make that up. We made it up, but that's really what's inside the podcast. So if you guys get a look at that podcast, if you guys follow us on any of that, it's a lot of fun to do. It's real life situations. We just take things that are going on in our Generation X. We're getting older. We're Generation X people. We've known each other since we were in kindergarten. We're 5 years old, and we've raised 8 kids. And there's no secrets between us. We've been married forever, and it encompasses a lot of things in our life. It goes back and forward through things that we've gone through cancer survival and job loss, and we cover things that happen during the day. When the politics gets in the way of our life, and we talk about it. So it's something good for everybody. It's a lot of fun. There's laughing the whole time. You guys should have a good time. All right. So Yeah, we got a problem here. I want to cover this real quick if I can. I'll put that picture down low. This is something that I didn't ever think was going to be an issue, and now that I'm reading and listening and learning more about it, hey, Alan, waving from South Africa. How you doing, Alan? Checking it out. It bothers me a little bit. This is Russia and the United States and China racing for the moon. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to be a big issue. And it turns out this is a real thing. Like if you listen to people talking about it on all sides, Russia's already got an unmanned probe on its way. I don't think it's landed yet, and it's going to the south pole of the moon. And their idea, they very clearly said, if there is frozen water reserves up there that can be used as participate in sorts of fuel for other rockets, they can build something that you can launch missions and satellites and probes and people maybe to other planets from the moon. That just saves it, because now you just got to shuttle everything up to the moon, set up your base up there, which we could do now. Technology's there, wouldn't be an issue at all, and put it up there and get everything done, and then you can start launching probes and doing stuff and monitor it all from there. And they want to do it. So then China says they're going to do it. Only China wants to put people on the moon, like right now. And then who was the guy's name? I wrote the dude's name down because I hadn't heard him before. Bill Nelson. He's the NASA chief, and he came out. He said this. This is where I thought I was going to have to make some assumptions, but I don't. He was on camera. He says, "Okay, look, China's going to go there, and they're going to put people up there, as we are. We got a team already ready. They're getting ready to go. We got a scheduled. NASA has a launch date of next year to send astronauts. They're going. But China's trying to beat us there, and this guy Bill says, here's the gig, man. China's going to get there first with people, not with rovers, not with robots, and they're going to stand there, and they're going to plant their flag and go, this part of the moon belongs to us. Keep the fuck out." And all of a sudden I thought, yeah, those assholes would do that. They'd fucking do that. Now, here we go. The United States, being the nice guy, we're going to send our team of people up there. In my mind, if I was president, I'm thinking, okay, if they're going to do that, you get up there and you start running around with flags, putting flags everywhere. United States flag, boom, 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 boom. Take some string, man. Mark out our territory. Take a can of paint. Draw it out. USA. Don't walk here. Because if they go up there and just stick a flag and like that's ours, stay out of it, they would enforce that shit. They would try to say, look, if you don't stay out of our area of the moon, we're going to blow up Hawaii. They would do that kind of stuff. So now we're going there first, great. But if we're the nice guys and get up there, well, we got here first, but we're not going to plant our flag. We're not going to claim the moon. We're not assholes. Fuck that. Be an asshole. I'm tired of this shit. Get out there and claim it. Claim off a section of it. You know what? Take a British flag up there, too, and claim something for Britain. Go, fuck it. This is for Britain. This is for Australia. Here's for Canada. And then here's ours. Right? Do it. Why not? Just say, yeah, they told us to come up here. Look, we got a proxy vote right here. They filled out a paperwork. We get to go do that now. Yeah, power of attorney for Britain, and when it comes to the moon progress, and we're gonna take their shit and put it here. Why not? Because that's what those guys are going to do. You're going to go up there, and there's going to be, and by the time we get there after they've been there, where China's going to have everything cordoned off with a miniature Great Wall of China all around the whole place where they want to be, and Chinese flag in the middle, and it's going to say, get the fuck out, don't come in here. So that's a real thing. That's why I was bringing that up. So when I tell you that they've got a team of people, they already do. Oh, let's see right here. Yeah, here's the dudes and the spaceship behind it. I had no idea it's a battle for the moon. I didn't think that was even a gig. Who wanted to go to the moon? We've already been there. Everybody's already knows what it is. Nobody really wants it. Turns out it has some very strategic advantages for some stuff. So now they're going. Russia's going. They're going to put Russia's already got a probe going up there right now. If it finds what they want to put people up there. China's on the way. We're on the way. I mean, there's going to be rovers and there's going to be automatic gear everywhere. Then there's going to be people, and we're going to be leaving our shit there and planting our flags there, and people are going to be spacewalking around the moon in 3 countries. It's going to be a gig, man. I mean, I didn't think that was going to, maybe I don't understand all the ramifications of why, but when I started going down this rabbit hole, and so I started pulling up little tidbits of articles and interviews from all over. Even the Russian dude, the Russian whatever the counterpart is for NASA, he was on TV. He's like, yeah, dude, we're going. And if it's this and it's got water, we're going to send this and we're going to plant. He's like in full mode, man, full go mode. I don't know. I'm just telling you that I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Now it looks like it's going to be that big of a deal. So there we go. All right, close up there. Go back over here. It's something between the sheets. For those of you who don't understand what the sheets are, my wife is not in the studio. My wife is in her office, and I have another monitor that's to my left, your right, and that's the sheets. And she's on Google Sheets, and she's sharing stuff. She's copying and pasting from you guys, and I'm reading it as we go along. So Whiskey Barrel from Joe, we got that one. From Gaither Locksmith in California, expatriate. I left Fresno for 2 months ago for Tennessee and have no regrets. Yeah, I don't mind people who leave. I mean, I wish you didn't because we need help here, but I don't mind when people go. I don't dog them for running out, and I don't want them to yell at me for staying. I don't like that. I don't like when people do that on either side. So if you love Tennessee, then I love that you went there. Forestera, Russia is pushing taking Alaska back from the United States on their news. Yeah, well, there's no fucking way. That's one thing. In the United States, that's one thing we have Democrats and Republicans that fight all the time. But that's one thing that we come together on real fast is when you try to take over, if you try to take over our land. I don't mean China buys a piece here or a country buys. No. If you try to do something, we unite very quickly on shit like that. They can have that shit in the news all they want. Not going to go anywhere. Deepak, our number one guy over there in Ireland. China must believe there are aliens living on the moon. Their new workforce. Yeah, that's right. Trying to get up there and find some aliens and go, how would you like to come work for us? Say $13 a day sound good? All right, come on. We got some great places you can sleep too. 12 of you in the same room. Mr. Flibble gifted 5 memberships. Who got those memberships? Patrick Husky, Celias Earl, Big Mike, Gareth Mullins, and Conspiracy Music. You guys now have access to all the stuff I was talking about. You can pull back the curtain, go behind the scenes after the program's over. Don't leave until then. All right, so that was the moon. The only side note I have on it popped into my head, you're going to have all these rovers up there running around from 3 countries. You're going to have all these machines and plants and things and cameras up there taking pictures and doing stuff from 3 countries. You're going to have teams of people in space flying back and forth and landing there and walking around from 3 countries. It's going to get very busy over the next 2 years. And they're going to be marking their ground, and we're going to see all sorts of stuff. Now, this is a sideline. This is a side note. Just imagine all the flights there and back of all 3 countries and all the footage and people and machines and rovers on the moon from 3 countries, all casually, nonchalant, because they don't care, taking pictures of the Earth as they travel and from the moon. You're going to have thousands of pictures from 3 different countries that clearly show the Earth is round. And the flat earthers are going to have to walk around making up a whole new story. Why is China promoting a round Earth? Well, why is Russia promoting a round Earth? This is going to get very complicated for the flat earthers really fast. Nobody else really cares because everybody else knows the Earth is round. But for the flat Earth people, having people just taking pictures because it's in the background shot when they don't really care the missions to go to the moon, that's going to get really awkward really fast. So we'll see how that turns out. To all of you guys, I love your opinions out there, but it's going to be fun. I'm going to grab some popcorn and watch how that unfolds. All right. So there was another one. This one came up. This one's been in the news. I thought it was just going to go away, and it didn't. All right, let me find it. So it's really hard to read when we do this. So split screen like that per live. Zach James over suits. Yeah, overturn. People don't spread the cars. There's one. Okay, I'll use this one right here. This one's done, and hit the button. Okay. So most of you, I'm sure, you saw the movie The Blind Side. Yes, it's a football movie. But even people who don't like sports movies, they liked watching this. This was a story in the movie about a wealthy white family that adopted a black kid, and he was really big and powerful and strong and put him through football and got him into college, and he played at Ole Miss. And it's a true story. Most of it's a true story, based on a true story. And he ends up in the NFL, and he plays a bunch of seasons there. He makes $35 million. Well, they made the movie about it, and it was a good movie. It was a feel-good movie. And most of you know that I like going to movies. I like being part of the experience. I want to be happy. I want to be sad. I want to be angry. I'm a perfect moviegoer. And so this movie was no exception. And Sandra Bullock played the mom. And I believe she won an Oscar for that. I'm sure she did. Now I looked it up. And so the movie came into theaters years ago, 96 or something. And maybe it was later than that. And then when they go through the movie and do the thing, and the movie's popular, it makes a bunch of money, and she gets an Oscar, and away we go. Now, all these years later, after the movie's already been out of theaters, the kid, Michael Orr, he comes in and says, hey, I want $15 million, or it goes to his family and says, I want $15 million, or I'm going to tell him what you did. And they're like, what do we do? He goes, well, you didn't give me any money. You told everybody I was adopted, but you really wouldn't adopt me. You put me in a conservatorship where, like, they're custodians of this guy. And the family's like, did you not have a good life? Did we not take care of you? Did we not help you do some stuff? He's like, well, yeah, but fucking I need $15 million. Now, the big push is he's saying, first it sounded like blackmail. Give me the money or I'm going to tell people what you did. And they're like, well, what the fuck did we do? We didn't do anything. Well, you said this, but it was kind of that. You labeled this. They said, okay, dude, stop. We're not, no. Okay, well, never mind that. I want $15 million because I didn't get my cut of the movie. This is based on my life. And you guys got all the money. Now, they have said, what they came out and said was, well, we took whatever our cut was for the movie, and we divided, I guess it was like 5 ways. It was the mom, the dad, Michael, and I guess there was 2 other siblings, so it was a family thing. They just divided it up, and everybody got their fair share, and that was it. And apparently this family's worth way more money. That $15 million wasn't going to make them or break them either way. Now, when I happened, if you guys listened to the podcast, I went to San Diego the other day. I drove all the way down there and all the way back. Got a little bit of a Goofus Manga situation to go through. Anyway, I got to listen to a lot of AM radio stations in Los Angeles and San Diego, and there was people calling in about this. And they were weighing their opinion. And I didn't understand. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, because this story didn't go away. I figured this story would be, a couple, 2 or 3 days and it'd be gone. It's getting bigger. They want her to give back her Oscar. Sandra Bullock, they want her to, you portrayed the mom very well. You won an Oscar, but give it back. No one can say why. I listened to those people calling in. I listened to the announcers, the DJs that were talking and the broadcasting. I looked at the stuff online. No one has said why. Why would you give back that Oscar? One person said, well, she knew about this betrayal. What betrayal are you fucking talking about? We haven't even determined there was one. There's an alleged one. Give back the Oscar and it's a big push. Then Sandra Bullock comes out there and she finally puts out a statement. She goes, this saddens me. You gave me an Oscar because I did a good job acting. Did that change? Did I not do a good job? Did you just rediscover? Do you your head comes out of your ass and go, you know what, come to think of it, she didn't do that good a job. Give me that Oscar back. Because that's for acting. And no one has said she knew about any improprieties with the story. And even if she did, and someone said, dude, that was kind of a shitty move, Sandra, I still wouldn't tell her to give back her Oscar. She earned it with acting. But let's back up. Let me back up a minute. Now, maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm just keeping things at nuts and bolts level. I'm keeping it at street level. I don't understand all the complications of life. Maybe Hollywood is above my pay grade. Maybe I truly am just a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert. It's possible. But before Michael Orr could do anything with this, he had to sign something. I'm not saying you sign your life away, but you have to sign the rights to the story away. Hollywood's pretty good with their lawyers about getting that shit squared away. And once they have permission to use the story, whether it comes from somebody's book, a biography, or whatever, but once Michael Orr signs off on it, one of the next things that happens is you decide how much money everybody gets. And there's a couple ways to do that. You're like, well, everybody's going to get a certain amount of money, or everybody's going to get a percentage of the money, right? So there is in writing somewhere what Michael Orr got, or what he was going to get. It's like there is in writing. Please sign this so we can make a movie, and there was some compensation, some money for that. It's whatever it was. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was. Then there is some compensation, like, okay, everybody involved and this family, you're going to get a cut. Is it a percentage? Is it a flat fee? I don't know. I don't care. It's somewhere along the process before the movie even gets made. There's these decisions are all signed off on, and there's going to be record of it somewhere. Michael Orr signed off. Here's what I'm getting for using my story. If they're right and the family's right on this, it's like, okay, the Tui family, if they're right, and they say, well, we all got whatever this money was, and we split it up 5 ways because that's what the contract said. There's going to be a contract that says that, and there's going to be proof on who got what money. I'm pretty sure, because this is years and years and years and years have gone by. No one said anything about this movie, this money. I'm guessing now, because I've been on this planet a long time, that Michael Orr's having some money problems. I'm guessing that things are becoming tight for him a little bit, and he's going back and going, I want my money from that. And they're going to be like, well, you signed for us to use your life for the movie. We did. You got paid. We agreed on this amount. When it's over, you did, and you got paid. Now, if there's money promised and there's no proof he got paid, that's a different issue. But why is he waiting 15 years later? Or 20 years later, whatever it's been. Why now? I'm thinking that everything was pretty straight up and legit. And you can say, well, you didn't adopt me. You said adoption, but you really was conservative. Who fucking cares? Okay, so what? I don't care. I'm not going to give you $15 million. What I'm pointing out is that why I thought this wasn't going to be a story for very long, because this is easily provable. This is Hollywood contract stuff. Someone just walk out and go, all right, look, so he signed right here that we could use his story. We gave him this much money, and here's a canceled check. It says right here, the Tui family's going to get this much money, and they decided to divide it up 5 ways. And here's where everybody got their check or their wire transfer. We're done. Have a nice day. I thought that was just going to be it. When he said, I want $15 million because I didn't get paid, I was thinking, well, dude, you got paid, or you'd have been bitching way before now. And if you didn't get paid, it'll be pretty easy to prove one way or the other, right? So here we are. This story I was going to talk about a few days ago, but it passed. I thought I won't bring this up because this will be ancient news by tomorrow or the next day. And here we fucking are. And you should hear these people in Los Angeles calling in on these radio stations. All these people are calling in on his behalf. Every person that I listened to was, well, they're just trying to keep the black man down. It's like, well, I think the black man got paid a lot. Plus, he was in that family, and they got him into college. They got him into the NFL. Yeah, you didn't adopt that man, and that's $15 million. I don't see it. I'm trying to understand the whole thing, but everybody who called in was racial. Everybody was white people keeping black people down. I'm like, you guys, these are first world problems, man. You're talking about... You're not talking about slavery and oppression. You're talking about very rich white people and a rich black guy who got to live his dream in the NFL, and they had a movie made about him. What's oppressive, man? You were the star subject of a Hollywood picture, man. These people are calling like, yeah, he grew up next to me in Compton, and they're keeping him down. What the fuck are you talking about, man? That guy's got more money in his left front pocket than I'm ever going to have. I'm oppressed. Yeah, I'm oppressed. I'm sidelined. I'm negated. Yeah. Okay, so that was my 2 cents on the matter. Since you guys never asked and didn't want to know, I figured I'd just bring it up and tell you. I'm telling you that this thing should have gone away in the beginning, easily provable one way or the other. If something comes up and I missed it, let me know. Otherwise, let's have that part of the discussion and see if there's still a story, because I don't think there's going to be much of a story after that. I'm just saying. All right. So I had some other stuff to get to, like the podcast, going to the moon. This was a picture. I already showed that picture, so I'm not that one. All right. Okay, right here. This was a picture. In world news, it was on the front page. I think it was CNN. It said, no bathing during air raids. Well, no shit. Although, if you're out in the water in your bathing suit, unless the other team has really bad aim, wouldn't that be a safer place to be? All right, never mind. That's just my Generation X thinking. No bathing suits during air raids, but beaches in southern Ukraine port reopen. And all I saw from this article was happiness for me. From me, inside me. And all I thought, I know maybe I'm not thinking they're talking about air raids and beaches and war. All I thought in my head was, if there is any slice of normalcy returning to these people, man, I'm all for it. Praise God. That's how I felt. I'd say I know the article was probably still supposed to lead me down a different path of thinking, but all I saw instantly was like, oh, thank God there's some people that are having a slice of normalcy and just can take the edge off for a few. Good for them. You know, I want to see beach balls bouncing around. I want to see a drink in everybody's hand. Yes, that's how I felt. I know that I missed the point of the story. Apologies on that, but that's how I thought about it. Okay, this was fucking weird. I'm not upset. I'm not mad at anybody for helping out. Pro-life diaper company donates thousands of diapers to the victims of Maui wildfires. Totally get it. I 100%, I didn't question the article that you just given the diapers it's a need, and there's children and families and without, and the things I got it. It's a great thing. I'm happy. Go ahead. I know. In my stupid brain, my stupid Generation X nuts and I see. You guys notice already, when I see a news article, I just read it differently than everybody else. Bombing in Ukraine and beaches, and I'm thinking people are happy. Pro-life diaper company donates thousands of diapers to victims of Maui wildfires. You know what I saw? Pro-life diaper company. Well, no shit. I think that would go without saying. Is there such thing as an anti-life diaper company? Wouldn't have much use for diapers, would you? Pro-abortion diaper company? Again, wouldn't have a lot of need for diapers then, would you? Is that like part of their name? Pro-life diaper company? Well, no shit. You're a diaper company. You put diapers on babies, assuming. Of course you're pro-life. I know. I'm sorry. I read things differently than everybody else. That just popped in my head. Pro-life diaper company. I didn't even read the rest. I went, well, no shit. And then I found out, victims of Maui. Oh, that's good. I'm with you guys. Now, I'm just saying, I don't know whether the diaper company labeled themselves that or whether some, 29-year-old millennial working for CNN decided this would be the headline. Because I think there's a bunch of kids working the headlines on some of the shit. They missed the fucking point. Because, the diaper company could have been pissed. They could have opened up their newspaper and been shaking the newspaper going, no shit, we're pro-life, you assholes. We make diapers. All right. I'm sorry. I just see things differently than everybody else. I do apologize for that. Kevin Grimes, member for 1 year. General, did you hear that Obama's White House chef was killed? Yeah, I did. That was a couple weeks back. I don't know. It's not that I don't want to follow those stories. Not like I'm trying to avoid those stories, but it'd be just like if someone said, oh, Hillary Clinton's chauffeur died. All right. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's a big story. It's important. There's people that are sad. There's people upset. There's people that are dead. I don't know that I don't know that I have the capacity to keep tackling obvious crimes. It's clear. I mean, There's like that meme that runs around where someone's testifying against Hillary Clinton and she calls them up and goes, "How would you like your suicide to be?" We're at that point. We're making memes and jokes and fun of the obvious. What else can you do? You almost have to laugh at it now because no one's going to do a fucking thing. All right, so where was I? I had stuff. Joe DeMint, the whole Maui fire thing does not pass the smell test. I don't know. I know there. In case you guys are wondering, in the world, Maui caught on fire. I'm sure you guys all saw about that. And they say downed power lines. They have pictures of downed power lines, and the power lines are here, and the wind was blowing that way, and Maui was destroyed right in the path of the wind. You see pictures of these embers just blowing so fast and just so the smoke overtaking people and killing. And then people wrote me and go, it was planned. How do you explain the boats burning up in the ocean? I want to know. Because they were pretty close to the fucking shore, and burning embers were blowing out there the same way this house to this house to this house to this house to this car, and that street blew right out in there and caught the boats on fire. Why is that a hard thing to figure out? Do you think they planted fire bombs on all those boats and had some guy sitting there clicking a button and just lighting them all on fire? The thing for those of you out there in the rest of the world, there is a theory going around that Joe Biden and Oprah Winfrey lit the island on fire with lasers so that when everyone's gone, they could swoop in and their rich friends could buy up all the land on the island cheap. And of course, and I've told you this before, we've talked about it. The guy who not the guy who came up with it, one of the promoters of this conspiracy theory says, well, it's proof when rich people end up owning all that land, when new owners come in and they're all filthy rich people and they own all the land in Maui, that'll be proof that rich people did this so rich people could own the land. Well, then I guess he's right, because rich people are going to end up owning it. Who else can afford to buy in Hawaii? You think I'm going to fly out there with $800 in my pocket and go, all right, well, this place is all turned to shit. It's all been burned up. I'll take that piece of property right there for $800. The dude selling it's going to want like $4 million. The only people that can afford to buy property out there are going to be rich people. So, of course, rich people are going to end up with the property. Duh. You can't use that as proof. That's an obvious statement. Well, if the sun comes up tomorrow morning, I'm going to know the conspiracy's true. Oh, look, the sun came up. Well, it's all true. Totally true. You can't do that. No, I'm not saying that Oprah Winfrey wasn't sitting up there in a spaceship with her alien friends and a purple laser lighting Maui on fire. It's totally believable. But just don't tell me that rich people owning Maui when it's over is the proof, okay? All right. Can we move on? Where we at? Harley Davidson. Everyone has to have a title now. Identity politics that the libs have started. We all should be. We all would divide ourselves, and no one ever noticed how divided we all became until it was too late. 100% agree with you. Division in politics is what keeps everybody apart, and we are much easier to control. So let's see. Yeah, this was an issue. This was on CNN. And Japan is panicked. Japan expresses grave concern over joint Russia naval drills near Okinawa. Now, we already know that China's been doing all this shit over there. They do these military exercises to which we have said, and they have admitted to, these are dry runs at invading Taiwan. These are practice sessions, logistics, getting men, getting ships, getting planes, figuring out. They're practice and dry run after dry run after dry run. And I know there's Japan expresses grave concern over joint. I know we're supposed to be thinking about all these. When an article comes up, we're supposed to be thinking a certain direction. We're supposed to go deep. We're supposed to think of policy and economics and what can be done. And again, my brain just said one thing. Japan expresses grave concern over joint Russia-China naval drills near Okinawa. My brain said, well, they're still doing dry runs and practicing for invading Taiwan. Why can't we send the Ronald Reagan battle group over there and just tell them, we're going to practice stopping you? You see, you're doing all these dry runs and you're doing all these things over here. You're going to do all this stuff to practice invading Taiwan, practice invading the islands, practice how to control the area. So, tell you what we're going to do. You're just practicing. It's okay to practice, right? That's what you keep telling us. We're allowed to practice. We're not doing anything. We're allowed to just figure shit out. Fine. Why can't we do it? Why can't we send a battle group over there and send the 7th Fleet in and go, by the way, we're practicing also. What are you guys practicing? Well, we're going to practice how to stop you. See, we're going to watch what you're doing, and then we're going to practice sending the Marines in to kick your fucking ass. Then when we're going to watch what you're doing, then we're going to practice sending our Navy in to sink all your ships. Then we're going to watch what you're doing, and we're going to send the Air Force in there to blanket cover this whole. It's going to be a no-fly zone all the way to your fucking front door. Hey, we're just practicing. If you can practice invading our friend, why can't we practice stopping you? Well, we can't have that. That would look bad. That would look very bad on the United States. I'm fucking sick and tired of how everything looks. You guys scream and kick and holler about climate change, and you just think it's the most important thing ever, but China is the worst one on the planet, and you don't say dick to them. In fact, you still buy all your shit from them. You stand up for LGBTQ and transgendered, and there's countries that would cut off your head if you told them that you were a homosexual. And you still think the countries are okay, and you still think they're right and we're wrong about shit. You don't really care about the issues. You care about it right here where you can control it and make a name for yourself. You don't think of it as a global problem unless it hits you directly. You don't think about all these things. These are terrible atrocities all over the world. You guys don't say shit. You're worried about how we behave with climate change, how we behave with LGBTQ. You're worried about our image. Fine. But when it comes to this shit over here, can we stand up? Can we go to China and say, you're not going to practice making war with Taiwan? Can we just say it and say, fuck off, we don't care how it looks? Can we go over there and say, you're fucking up the world with your carbon emissions? Can we go, who cares how it looks? Can we do, would you guys be behind us then? Can we go over to the Middle East and just tell people, you fucking cut the heads off of homosexuals and we're going to come after you? Can we say that? It's going to make us look bad, but can we say it? Can we stand up for once? And the question is, would you stand up with us? You should. If we're standing up for you guys. But everyone's so concerned about America can't look bad on that. No. We're going to knock your dick in the dirt here. But if you try to do it to anybody else, even on the same topic, not allowed. Not allowed to do it. I know, going down a rabbit hole. Back to what I was saying. Why can't we just go do practice runs on stopping China and stopping Russia? And if we can do it there, why can't we just swoop in with a bunch of shit over in Ukraine? And when Russia goes, what the fuck was all that? Say, we were just practicing what it would look like if 400 B-29 bombers and B-52 bombers came in here with a ton of Raptors and F-16s, and we swooped down and blew up every piece of artillery and every soldier you had. We just were doing a practice run. We just want to see what it would look like if we came in here and swooped in and kicked your ass. We were just practicing. That's what you guys are doing. You're practicing, right? You're good with that. You've taught us the ground rules. We want to play too. That's all I'm saying. Donna Huss said, I think we should be the heathen Americans we are accused of being, and stand up and fuck up and handle the shit with the real Americans we are. Good day, General. Donna's right. Donna's absolutely right. Can you imagine if any circumstance of American, home or abroad, somebody finally just snapped one day and said, all right, you're going to accuse us of being all this shit? You're going to accuse us of all... Well, fuck it, we're going to live up to that reputation now and see how you like it. You're already painting us in this light. You're already accusing us of being this way. Fuck it. Why not just do it? See how you like it then. Might not go the way they think. You can take that on a global scale, but just pull it all the way back down to your local grocery store. Think about it. When somebody comes up and screaming at you, you white privilege, go, you know what? Fuck it. I want to go to the front of the line. Just walk right past 13 people to the front of the line at the grocery store, pop down your shit, push everybody aside and go, hey, you're accusing me of having white privilege. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and fucking take it. I was perfectly content being at the back of the line, but if you're going to run your fucking mouth, I'm taking it. So keep yapping. At least I'm going to be out of this grocery store quick. What if people started living up and behaving the way others are accusing us? That's a personal one, of course. But thinking globally is the same way. Americans are monsters. All right, well, fuck it. I'm going to act like a monster and see how you like it. Oops. All right, I'm just telling you that there's things like that to consider. Bump, 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 bump. Was in gyms and shoes. Cars. Yeah, this was a touchy one. This one's, you guys have seen this. This one's from Fox News. This has been framed up everywhere. I think this is in San Francisco, but it's happening in Los Angeles too. They're smashing car right in broad daylight. They get out of a car, they walk into their car, they look inside, something's there, they smash it, they grab stuff out of there, they get back in the car and leave. Now, pay attention. I live here in California, so some of this stuff I might have a little bit of insight on. Pay attention. There are cities and intersections of towns. They don't stop anymore. There's red lights and they pull up and they look around and they try to go through it. They turn the corner on the red. Don't stop. And I'm not talking about a California stop. I'm talking about people do not want to stop their vehicles because someone may run up and do something to you, attack you, smash your window. If you're stopped at a light, smash your window, take your purse and leave. People are at a point now where they're not stopping their cars for stoplights and stop signs where they're supposed to. There are people that get into a situation and they just look around and they drive. Maybe nothing's happening, but they're scared something's going to. I love the whole thing. It was a defund the police. You remember that? Defund the police, defund the police, defund the police. And all of a sudden, they were defunding the police and officers were quitting and pieces were getting moved around the board and cities were getting fucked up. This was one of the most hilarious things I'd ever seen. First, the liberal Democrats, no, wait, that defund. What we meant was reorganize the money in different areas so we have different programs. The same amount of money, not defund, but we're going to move the money around in different ways and diversify the money so that there's more programs. No, you said defund the police. You wanted less officers, asshole. Then, about 3 months after that wasn't working. Crime was still going up. They said, well, this was originally a Republican idea. This was really the Republicans, and they tried to pin it on Republicans. That didn't fly. For about a month, they tried that. Every news, the Republican idea of defunding the police isn't working, and the Democrats need to step back in and change direction. Nah, nobody believed that. Because there was video proof of people, the squad starting it, saying it, pushing it, and everybody catching on and going. You couldn't deny it. They didn't have any Republicans on camera going, this was my idea, I did this. No one. Now, every city that defunded their police has been trying to bolster it back up, but at the same time, they've been pressured to lower, in L.A., near where we live, no bail money. No bail money. If you're going to be out on bail, there's no cost to you. Just get out. They lowered the limit. If it's under $1,000, it's a misdemeanor. Barely even goes on your record. You can steal $900 worth of stuff every single day. You're not going to go to jail. You're not even going to get a felony on your record. I'm telling you, the pendulum is swinging back the other way in culture in my country. This is one of them. They're recalling the district attorney, having a recall vote. She was out on camera crying, going, well, you shouldn't, if the people have voted, you should not be able to overturn a vote. Well, yeah, if you're not doing your job, if you got voted in to do a job and you're not doing it, what are they supposed to do? You're fired. They want you fired. You got to go. They're changing things slowly. They're holding people in jail. Things are starting to move because I don't care how much money George Soros pours into governors' races and mayoral races and district attorneys and legislative aides all over the country. The will of the people is going to be stronger than George Soros' money. Eventually, it will. You can't stop it. Every single day, there is evidence that things are shifting. There's evidence that even liberal Democrats are going, fuck, oh my God, stop. This is just stop. Put it back the way it was. It's true. Absolutely true. All right. We're coming up on the end of the program here. Let me go back over to here. So, I don't know, was there something else I missed in here? I think I got the big topic. There's so much more. We could go for 6 hours. But we covered the big stuff. We covered countries fighting over the moon. That's big. My wife getting her head stuck in the office. The two big stories there to cover. Yeah, there's so much to get to. I can't get to everything, you guys. Listen, let me jump back in here. All right, Farmer's Plumber, you could be the great Patton of our generation. Yeah, he was a great general. He just told it like it was. He got in so much trouble for saying shit. That's Farmer's Plumber. A nice pull there, man. Nice pull. Samuel Pancake, member for 6 months. General, did you see the AK guy? Is it AK Arkansas guy, or do you mean AG guy? YouTuber is running for Congress. I did not see that. Harley Davidson, if liberalism was so great, there would be no crime or homelessness or drug use or gun violence. Yeah, liberals don't have an answer. Like I told you guys before, we had a long talk about this. When the liberals enforce a plan and it fails, they say Republicans didn't let them do it soon enough. Republicans didn't give them enough money during the process. Republicans kind of tripped them up along the way. They have 3 common excuses on why their policies fail. You didn't let us do it soon enough. You didn't give us enough money, and you didn't go along with it. You really kind of fought us during the whole process. Every single time liberal policies fail, those are their 3 go-to moves. Every time. It's in their playbook. It's just what they do. And everybody picks it up and goes, oh, that's right, page 63. Got it. You didn't let us have it soon enough. You didn't give us enough money, and you didn't go along for the ride like you're supposed to. See, close the book. Your fault, not ours. Every time. Liberal playbook. I wish that conservatives would call them out on it as they start voting on a policy, as they start implementing a policy right at the beginning. They should say, now, when this fails, don't say we didn't give it to you soon enough. Don't say we didn't give you enough money, and don't say we fought you the whole way. Can you do this program the way you say? Oh, yes, we can. We got it. Give us the money. Give us this. Pass this bill. Pass this law. We got it. Okay, we're going to, but you can't come back and say we didn't give it to you fast enough. We didn't give it to you with enough money, and we fought you. No. We won't say those things. Then when they eventually fail and their policy sucks and they come back and say those things, put them side by side and go, you see, we called it. We even knew, not only did we know your plan was going to fail, we knew your policy was just blowing chunks. We knew that, but we even knew what excuses you were going to give when it was over. And we recorded you saying so side by side. There you go. Why? Because the next time it comes up, say, yeah, we'd love to give you this law. We'd love to pass this bill, but it's just going to fail. And then you're going to blame, like you did. You're going to blame other people. We did this last time, and you did exactly what you promised you weren't going to do. You did it. I think sometimes dealing with liberal Democrats is a lot like raising children. I think you have to expose them and let them fail and record it. Get the beginning, the middle, the end, and then show it and go, don't ask to borrow money from me again because you said you'd get a job and repay me and you didn't. So don't come asking me as your parents for money anymore. I think with liberals, same thing. Don't ask me for this bill or this law because you're going to fuck it up and then you're going to blame everybody but you. You did it before. We're done. We let you try it once. It didn't work. Why not? It's the same 3 things every time. You think we can get out in front of those at some point. All right, look, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. My hour is up. It's a Friday. We got a Facebook show at 6:00 tonight. We got to do, and then a busy weekend. We're leaving for Eureka. My daughters are staying here at the house watching the animals. They'll be here the whole time, so everything should be good there. We're heading to Eureka. We're going to be at that pizza place. Go look on the website or the members say we're going to be at that pizza place on Monday. Monday, bump, 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 bump. Yeah, we're leaving Sunday. Going to be there Monday. So if you're up in Eureka area. Is it Mike's Pizza, Paul's Pizza? It's a New York thing. I don't know. It should be on the website. You guys can check it out. We'll be up there. We'll have a beer, have a burger, hang out for a little bit, have a slice of pie. And then on the end of this month, the 26th, we'll be in Long Beach at Collecticon. It'll be Chuck Norris, main celebrity, and then us. Now, I make it sound like we're going to be right next to Chuck Norris, but he's going to be in one part of the building, and we're going to be at the other part by the exit door and the dumpsters. But hey, technically, we're there too. So if I say it's Chuck Norris and Gen X Talks, hey, I'm lying like a politician, but I'm making it sound good. I'm grouping it all together. We will be down there. If you want to see us, you want to come by, giving away a bunch of stuff. Gen X Mom's got a bunch of stuff she's going to hand out. So if you want to stop by and say hello, if you're going to be down at Collecticon anyway in Long Beach, come by and say hello. Thank you guys for tuning in around the planet. Not sure where you are, where you're listening from, AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps on the Armed Service Radio Network. But thanks for tuning in. If you had an hour of your time to waste, what better place to waste it than with Gen X Talks? We'll catch you guys on the flip side.